It's fitting that we're at the Chamber of Commerce, where business comes to help Amarillo. If you think about it, the taxes keep the burden off the homeowner's back, the sales tax. And so we're really excited to announce to you today that this year we'll collect $45,619,000 in sales tax. This is up 8.7% from last year. And it's up a considerable amount from our high before. The highest level we've ever collected was $43,813,000 3 years ago. It dipped a little, and now we're way above any of those levels. So it is important that we understand what that does for our city. You know, people are going to decide in the next few days, as we go through this Thanksgiving period, about going out shopping or logging on. I will tell you, logging on really doesn't make it easier. It costs our city. And if you think about the things that have come from our sales tax, it provides us public safety, it improves our streets, it has been the money that's made the difference with Bell Helicopter being here, with the Economic Development Corporation. It is the lifeblood of our city, and it is off the backs of homeowners. We have a handout that you can see the numbers, see what's happened. But let me introduce Jared Atkinson, our city manager, who will go through some specific things that have made a difference in our city. Jared.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And if I could just kind of briefly follow up on a few points on that. The sales tax in Amarillo is the single largest revenue source to the general fund. That's not typical across all parts of Texas. It is here. It has been for a long time. And that's one of the reasons that Amarillo, probably the primary reason that Amarillo can enjoy the very low property tax rates that we have. Speaking of property tax, I think something that's not always known, if you took the entire property tax levy of the city of Amarillo, it would not fund just the police department and the police department alone. We have to have the sales tax. That's what makes it work for us. As you head into this holiday season, I'll leave you with a couple of points to consider about that. A 1% increase in sales tax collection for this city in and of itself would fund an additional 4 police officers, the cars, the equipment, and the training that's necessary to put those men and women on the street for us. That's without going back and touching the property tax. Similarly, that would fund 8 additional firefighters. Won't buy their truck, but 2% would start getting us really close to being able to do that. So as you go to this holiday season, please continue. The commerce of Amarillo is doing well. As you can see from the handout, the increase just over the last 2 years is really nothing short of phenomenal. Even a smaller rate of growth as we go forward will continue to allow us to provide not only the same services, but increased services, and to do so without having to reach out and tap other revenue sources. With that, I would like to introduce Les Simpson. Les and his group were instrumental in bringing this program to us today, and I'd like for him to come and talk.
Great. Thank you, Jared.
Well, it was May in 2010 that the program Shop Smart, Shop Local began. And if you go back and look at 2010 and the statistics there on the sales tax, during the 2010 fiscal year, sales tax was dragging a little bit. And as was mentioned, and as we've tried to point out through the program, sales tax is the #1 revenue source for the city of Amarillo. You get a big tax bill every year on your property taxes. A lot of that goes to education, which is definitely something that needs to be funded. You have Potter County, you have the other taxing districts. Really only a small portion of that goes to the city of Amarillo, as just mentioned. And kind of looking at the method of funding the city, the sales tax is really an area that we try to focus on. So the Chamber, the Amarillo Globe News, and many partners in this community came together to try and educate the community on the importance of shopping local. We're now in our 2nd year with this program. It's a joint partnership with the Chamber and the newspaper. And this year we could not do this program without more than 40 local businesses. If you're with the Chamber or with the newspaper, if you're with one of those 40 local businesses, would you just raise your hand real quick? we appreciate the partners that have been part of this, because we would not have been able to do it without them coming to the aid of being able to do this program. We wanted to do this today not only to report out to the community what a great year we've had in terms of sales tax, but to really focus on here as we head into the largest shopping time of the year, kind of a call to the community to consider shopping local during this time. It's really, you think it's easy, and it may be. You think you may save some money, but at the end of the day, you really don't. And what we're trying to do through this time of year is to educate the community on the things that they benefit from by shopping locally. You see over here a copy of an advertisement that is running in the newspaper. This same advertisement will be on display at all of our local partners. So when you go into their place of business, and they're listed at the bottom, you can see what the reasons why we need to shop local. I want to go over those just really quickly. Number one, when you shop local, you support jobs for your friends and neighbors. If you look on there at the kind of towards the bottom, there was a study done out of Michigan that really made a major effort to try and track the amount of local dollars when they were spent locally, how much of that remained in the community. Out of every dollar, on average, with all the stores, about $55 of that remained in the community through paying people's salaries, through taxes, through buying other things. When you go online, 0 of that remains in the community. You don't pay any sales tax, and it goes off to wherever that business may be. So number one, you support jobs for your friends and neighbors. And number two, you keep tax dollars in Amarillo and Texas, and we kind of heard today why that's important. And this is another area, you nourish local nonprofit organizations supported by local businesses. You don't see businesses out in other communities, and well, I won't call any names, that are really, coming back here and saying, I want to give to the symphony, I want to give to the ballet, I want to give to the United Way. Those are local businesses that do that, and if they don't do well, they're not able to support our local nonprofit organizations. You ensure choice by keeping local business thriving. Choice is a good thing in the community. The more businesses we have, the more competition, the more choice you get as a consumer. But if you're going somewhere else and putting local businesses out of business, you lose that choice. You help pay for city services that was mentioned today, such as fire protection, law enforcement, and roads. You help local suppliers who local businesses use. If you look at where the local business community goes to buy their supplies, a lot of times that is local. I think that you receive better customer service when you deal locally. You don't have to press 17 buttons. You just go in and you talk to someone. You ensure the convenience that we have from being able to buy locally instead of having to travel for purchases. You ensure our money stays in the community. You help our economy improve, not some other community far away. You help underwrite a city that attracts new business and tourism. One of the focuses of the Shop Local program was also on the importance of the hotel occupancy tax and how that benefits our community. And finally, you really make our city a great place to live. So on behalf of all the partners that are here today, we just want to encourage the community of Amarillo to concentrate and focus as much as they can on doing business during this holiday season. We thank everybody for coming today. I don't know if there are any questions or comments.
We deal with these problems every day of how we fund this city, and your participation and your thoughts as we go through this season will help us fund the services that you need. So thank you all for being here today. Thanks everybody for coming.